It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler.
Hey guys, Tyler here. Lupin the Third is pretty much one of my favorite animes of all time. Like every single time I watch Lupin the Third, there's always something new, always something exciting, always something funny with the cast and the crew behind the series. And to me, it's like a James Bond kind of episode for Japan, but like every single thing, every single property of that franchise is completely new and original. My first ever introduction to Lupin the Third was probably through the movie The Castle of Cagliostro, which came out back in the 1970s, and since then I got hooked on the franchise. I've seen the first series, which has Lupin the Third in a green jacket. I saw the second series, which Lupin the Third has like the red jacket on. I also saw, of course, the newer episodes with the blue jacket, which is like the Italian adventure. And of course, I've seen some random movies. And of course, throughout the whole entire years that Lupin the Third have been around, there has been like many different cast members in regards to the dub, because the dub history is just complicated. However, there's like one true cast, in my personal opinion, which we'll get later into this whole entire video review of Lupin the Third, the first. Now, what is this movie entirely about? Because like apparently this movie has like been made for 2 years. Like I saw documentaries in this Blu-ray set that was released by Shout Factory that it took at least 2 years to actually animate every single thing on camera. Well, not on camera, but on a computer. And of course, it was just crazy. Like, the first thing that immediately comes out of my mind when it comes down to this whole entire movie is just how beautiful, just how fluent the animation truly is. Because every single frame, every last second looks so realistic. Naturally, of course, a occupation that I actually, feel when it comes down to this whole kind of animation stuff is that sometimes when you animate stuff from like the 2D to the 3D, it does not look that well. It really does not. Like sometimes it looks super, super bad. However, with movies like The Peanuts, and of course with this movie, it seems as though that the technology nowadays is so much better in comparison to what they did in the past when it comes down to transitioning animation from 2D to 3D. This is also the first ever production for Lupin the Third that was done entirely in CGI. And so if they would continue to make movies that are like entirely in CGI and this sort of animation style, then honestly guys, I really, really feel that they should probably do that because it looks so fantastic. Like everything looked so freaking beautiful. So what's the story behind Lupin the Third, the first? Now, contrary to believe, it's not the first movie, the whole entire franchise. There's like plenty and plenty and plenty of movies in the franchise. Like I said earlier, one of them is like The Castle of Cagliostro. But essentially the plot of this movie is about a young woman who was adopted as a baby to some sort of old man who is hell-bent for world domination. And obviously, of course, it's up to Lupin and the gang to prevent world domination from actually occurring. That's going to be some sort of hidden treasure that was located in Mexico. Now, the cast members for the English dub is actually back. Now, what do I mean by the English dub? Like earlier in the video, I mentioned there's like various different cast members. Now, the cast members that I'm referring to for this type of dub is actually the one from the Red Jacket series. Of course, I'm talking about like Tony Oliver as like Lupin the Third and these other kind of people who done that dub. It's the same sort of cast members that was like on Adult Swim for the Red Jacket series, as well as the other newer shows and some recent movies. And so yes, they brought back almost every single last cast member from that dub into this production. And honestly guys, I feel as though that the voices feel so fantastic, honestly. Like, it's like one of those few animes where I don't actually mind about watching the dub. Like sometimes when you watch anime, like the dubs are like really, really terrible. Like god awful. But Lupin the Third is like one of the few exceptions where the dub is actually, of course, as good, if not better, than the Japanese version. Of course, this Blu-ray set has the Japanese version with English, Spanish, and also French subtitles. However, I personally prefer to watch it with the dub because to me at least, they actually fit the characters so perfectly to the T that I cannot possibly imagine any other voice cast being just as good as the English dub cast for this movie. First and foremost, the artwork that's done for the Blu-ray is just fantastic for the Steelbook. Like, everything is super detailed. You have Lupin III and the entire gang just hanging out in the car, and it just looks super, super gorgeous. Now in the back, of course, you have like some sort of flyer, like the sticker thing on the back, and it has like a listing of the bonus features. Now the bonus features for this set are not too shabby, because there's like a lot of bonus features for this set. They include stuff such as interviews from the Japanese cast and director, as well as the English cast reunited, an animation breakdown of the film, CG model gallery, the yellow carpet premiere, as well as some trailers and promotion. And of course, when you remove, of course, the flyer for the back, you get the rest of the drawings, and of course you have a sign that says like Lupin III, something like that. I can't read Japanese, unfortunately. And when you open up the sets, you have two discs. The first disc is the Blu-ray, and the second disc is the DVD copy. Now inside of the book, you get like a character bio of the film, and a lot of details of the history of the film. And so this Steelbook is perhaps like one of the nicest releases when it comes down to, of course, Lupin III. Now, a major distributor nowadays for Lupin III is also Digital Tech Media, and they have like a lot of Blu-rays, a lot of DVDs of this show. So if anyone else is actually pretty interested to see like the rest of the series or the movies, by all means go to Digital Tech Media to check out more releases that's been done for this series. Overall, I highly recommend this set. The animation for the movie is just absolutely mind-blowing, especially in high definition. Of course, the dub cast for this movie is also really fantastic. The extras are fantastic, and I feel as though that this is like one of the nicest releases out there for Lupin III because this is like in a steelbook. And I also feel that this film is probably one of my favorites besides Castle of Cagliostro. Now, I believe this film is also like a 4 out of 5. I definitely recommend this movie. Now, the thing about Lupin III is that there's like no show or no movie that's in particularly chronological order. So if you're actually a new fan who want to get to like Lupin III, like watch any type of show, like anything, because there's like no single connected story. Because there are some shows that are actually like, you know, really dark. For example, the woman called Fujiko Mine is actually really dark. And some parts of the first series is really dark. However, there are some shows that are really light. There are shows, movies like this is also really light too. And so naturally, depending on your taste, go towards like the darker shows or the lighter shows or the darker movies and the lighter movies. And guys, you gotta see this show. You have to see this franchise because honestly, it's like one of my favorite franchises of all time. So what do you guys think about this set and also this movie? Tell me in the comment section down below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.
It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. He's your only black friend, so he's your best black friend. I wouldn't trade him for another black friend, because black friends are rare, as you should be aware. He smiles like Richard Pryor, so just sit and stare. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler.